Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am currently doing Super Mario Plus Story Time, and just completely screwed up. I am just telling, like some stories of things that have happened in my life since, just so that I have, just so I have something to talk about, basically. So today I'm going to tell you guys about one of my sister's exes, which I know might seem kind of weird because it's not my ex, but let me tell you, this guy was an experience. I'm not going to say his name because, obviously for privacy and safety and whatever. And even though he's not legally allowed on the internet, that doesn't mean he might not be there. But when my little sister was a teenager, I think she was like 15, she was dating this guy who was much, much older than her. And that is a story in and of itself, but he was not a good guy. He was abusive, he was not a good guy. And I was not a fan of him, but I was, of course, civil to him because he was dating my sister. I don't know, that's just what you do. You're civil to people who are dating your siblings even when you don't want to be. But he, I remember pretty much from the get-go, this guy was kind of garbage. He had originally tried to date me, and I said no thank you. I had just gotten out of a relationship. I was closer to his age. I think I was 18 and he was like 20 or 21, and so I was definitely at least legal. And I had said no to dating him. I was not interested. And then he met my sister and he started dating her instead. And right from the get-go, I don't know if he told my sister this or if she said it, but their story was that I threw myself at him and he rejected me for my sister, which is funny because he hadn't even met my sister yet, but that's okay. But that was the story that they were telling at the time, and I didn't really care to disprove it because it didn't really matter to me. But that alone kind of gave me the impression that, maybe he's not the greatest guy, and I definitely dodged a bullet there, I guess. But then, at the time, I was not living at home. I was living on my own, but I was living with a friend of mine, and I did not want to continue living there. So I had called my little sister. I think I was actually calling my mother to ask her, if it was cool that I moved home, which of course it was going to be fine. I knew she wasn't going to, say no about me moving home. But yeah, she said something. I don't even remember what my little sister said, but I hear her boyfriend in the background. And I was still, at this point, unsure. I was on the fence on if I wanted to move home or not. But I was thinking about it. So I hear my little sister's boyfriend say in the background, "She is not moving back in this house." Because, by the way, he lived there. This 21-year-old man lived with my 15-year-old sister. And I was like, "Excuse me, I'm what? I'm not moving back into my own mother's house?" So I packed my stuff and moved home, that day. I don't even think I said anything to my roommate at the time. I think I just moved home. Because, sorry dude, you don't get to tell me I can't move home. So I tried to get along with this guy. We would, sort of hang out sometimes, but we weren't, super close. But I was friendly enough to him because he was my sister's boyfriend and we lived in the same house. So we got along okay. Not great, but okay. And then, he was with my sister for quite a few years. But eventually I moved out again when I got with Matthew's father. And, we had Matthew. And this guy, him and my sister used to come to my house. They got along really well with Matthew's dad. Sorry, I'm like trying to concentrate on this real quick and then I'll finish the story. I just do not want to die right here. Get it. Okay. Okay, anyway, so they used to come over all the time and see, hang out with Matthew's dad and I, because they got along very well with Matthew's dad. And this time in particular, Matthew was a newborn baby, and I was sitting upstairs. So they would go like down in the basement and smoke pot with Matthew's dad. I didn't smoke pot, so I would just stay upstairs. Plus I was a breastfeeding mother anyway, so I wouldn't smoke pot no matter what. But either way, so they, So they had came to my house and they had went downstairs to smoke with Matt, and I was upstairs on the couch nursing Matthew. And I don't even remember how the conversation happened, why they were talking about what breast milk tastes like. But I don't know if they'd been talking about it with Matt or if Mike just... I don't know if they'd been talking about it with Matt or if the guy just brought it up, but my sister's ex came and asked me what, like, I think he asked me if Matt had tasted my milk, basically. I was like, no. That's kind of weird. And I told him that I didn't know, because obviously I didn't taste it myself, but that I had heard on like my birth boards or whatever, like mom groups, that breast milk tastes like cantaloupe juice or whatever. I don't know. And he was like, "Oh, do you think I could try a taste of it?" And I was like, "I guess so." Thinking that he's like going to have me like squirt some into a little like container for him to taste. No, the dude leans down and literally like goes to put his mouth on me to drink it directly from me. And I was stunned. And then he like leans back, caresses my earlobe, and walks away. What? And if I'm not mistaken, when I told my sister, now of course she talks about what a creepy is. But I think at the time she basically like said I was lying or like acted like it wasn't a big deal, because I mean she was 17 I think at the time, and I'd been with this guy since she was like 15. So, she obviously was going to be on his side, and plus she kind of had like the weird like he wanted to date me first, and that did not make her very happy thing. But it's not because it was me. He just was willing to date anybody. That sounds mean. That sounds like he didn't. Anyway, he's a terrible person, so it really doesn't matter. But as it turns out, he ended up going to prison for quite a few years. And this was later. This was like they split up, and he went to prison like part of like I don't want to give too many details again. Part of what he went to prison for sort of involved my sister, but it also was more involving someone else. So I'm not going to share that particular victim's story. That victim has nothing to do with my family and I. So I don't want to share their story. But he did go to prison for quite a few years. And at one point he wrote my sister a letter. I still to this day have this letter. And this letter remains one of the creepiest letters. Like, I don't know if it's just because it was this particular guy, and, we know what a creep he was, but, like, I don't know. This letter that he wrote was just, makes my skin crawl. I don't think my sister read it. She may have, but if I'm not mistaken, she gave it to me and told me to hang on to it. She wanted me to read it and make sure that, you know, it wasn't anything that she could, or anything that she like needed to know about or whatever. And it wasn't. Again, I don't remember if she read it or not. But come on. But she, sorry, my voice keeps catching in my throat. A few years ago, he actually got out of prison. Sorry for that gross mouth noise I just made. But a few years ago, he got out of prison, and he is not supposed to have social media of any kind per his parole, like whatever, like the terms of his parole. But he must have made a Facebook because he found her, my sister, and he messaged her, which is very creepy. And she, I believe, just right away blocked him. It's very creepy. So I don't know. Be aware of don't date older men. Like, could you imagine 15 years old dating somebody that much older than you? Like, that's so terrible. And like, I'm not gonna tell you guys the story of why my mother allowed that to happen, because I don't know, that particular story time is kind of a lot, so I don't think I'll be telling that one right now, but maybe someday. So yeah, that dude straight up breastfed off of me. So gross. And so, like, hello, that's assault. Like, oh, so creepy. I was horrified by that. I could not stand that guy though. It was really just an absolute creep. So I don't know. That's that particular story time. Sorry, Anyway, that's it. I'm stopping here because I keep dying. Thank you for listening to this. My next story time is going to be another short one, so I might combine it with two. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!